How about Tess and Ed's country garage? Aunt Edna and I exchanged a look before focusing again on the speaker. He was a fastidious little man, complete with a fussy bow tie, who looked wholly out of place sitting at our kitchen table. And things were about to get even more uncomfortable for him. I sat back and smirked, pulling my long chestnut braid forward and fiddling with it while I waited for the coming fireworks. Disrespecting my Aunt Edna was a move no one in our small town would ever think of making, unless they had a death wish. But of course, this dead man walking wasn't from New Oslo. No one calls me Ed. Aunt Edna's pale blue eyes flashed a warning as they narrowed at the man, Arthur Meyer, the producer of the cable TV show Picks with Ricks. No one who wants to live. Ah, ha ha. Well, it's like us calling both of our actors Rick, said Arthur, waving a hand. It's all image for a viewer, and the title is amazing, like Romy and Michelle's high school reunion, he added. His young assistant, Irma Martinez, rolled her eyes. I told you I don't watch a lot of TV, said Aunt Edna. She leaned back in her chair and crossed her arms, her lips in a thin line. It was a movie, I said at the same time as Irma. We shared a smile. I liked the young film student. It wasn't her fault she thought an internship with this self-proclaimed Hollywood heavyweight would actually help her career. It was supremely unfortunate the man was not only full of hot air, but also didn't pay her a dime. A movie I was on the directorial crew of, Arthur said, puffing up. Irma rolled her eyes again. I had researched the producer before we had agreed to them filming here, so I knew what Irma did. That he was an assistant to the assistant set director's assistant or something like that. It probably meant he was the coffee boy. I'm not interested in our own show, said Aunt Edna. She glanced up and out the window toward our old garage, where the two Ricks were poking through piles of old stuff in hopes of finding something worth screen time. We already have a job. We fix cars. I just want to sell some of this old junk. She shook her head and blew out a breath. Maybe this was a mistake, she murmured. I intervened before Aunt Edna canceled the whole deal. Why don't we go check and see how it's going out there? I pushed back my chair and stood, signaling the coffee break was over. Aunt Edna and Irma stood too. I'll wait in here. Arthur folded his manicured hands neatly on the table and looked up at us. No, you won't stay in my house unchaperoned. Aunt Edna glared at the man,